Well, hello, welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel, and the word aviation, even though spelt right, does look funny. It did look funny.
I know it did. That's why.
It did. I can see why. It's like the word depot. Depot. You know,
Just had an S to it.
Weird
You got
things.
a despot.
Despot. Yes. We don't want that. We already have one.
We've got one.
So we're going to do the aviation drink today. It was named during the 1920s when aviation was getting big. And one of the reasons, they say, was because it had the creme de violette to make it a little blue, so it looked like the sky. Although a lot of recipes don't use creme de violette.
Did Lindbergh have anything to do with this, you think?
It got him high.
Lucky Lindy?
It got him high. It got him up there. So I have a list here with 12 different recipes. Most recipes for the aviation include maraschino liqueur, which is this, Luxardo maraschino liqueur. It's all gin. This gin is called Aviation Gin. It's an Oregon gin, and it was named that for the drink because apparently it goes well with it. And it's 400% alcohol.
No, it's not.
It's 42% alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 84?
It's a little 84. So it's 1.5 ounces of gin. You could use whatever kind. One of the recipes here asks for Ruta gin.
Ruta?
It's a German gin that you can get in...
Ruta.
Ruta. You can get it in Toucan.
Oh.
And it is a good gin. I have that gin, and I tried it at home once with that. It was good.
So how goes the Luxardo?
This is Luxardo, half an ounce. So Luxardo maraschino liqueur, if you're going to have some weird stuff in your house, Luxardo maraschino liqueur should be one of those weird things you have.
Well, it looks like the kind of a liqueur that sits in the shelf for a long time.
I just bought my third bottle, so.
In your lifetime?
In my lifetime.
Oh.
No, my recent cocktail lifetime.
Cocktail lifetime.
Yes, which
is...
As
a mixologist.
Yeah. So let's see, this is even
Creme de
less.
violette.
Creme de violette, less uses for this. This is in a lot of recipes. This is in the last word and in the bijou. What?
How many of those have you had in your
This
mixology
is
career?
my second bottle.
Okay, and how many years has that been?
I got it for this drink. About 3 years.
You've been in cocktails now for more than 3 years.
Yeah, but I haven't been doing this drink for a while.
Okay.
So a little of that, which is a 1/4 ounce, half ounce of that, 1/4 ounce of the blue stuff. It is blue and it's got a nice smell. If you have a particular, gene, you will not like this because if you will think you're drinking soap. And I have half an ounce of lemon. Ever hear of that? This is my first lemon. It's my first lemon I ever had.
I see. Whoa.
I did it.
Okay. Now, if you watch this show at all, you know we love cocktails. We love food and drink. That's our favorite topic. Is there a bar in town that would, if you walked up to the barman and said, "I'll have an aviation," could they make it?
You know how you and I went around for the last couple of years looking for people to make
Negronis.
The Negroni?
It wasn't easy.
It's not easy.
Nobody's going to have that.
Nobody's going to have this.
Maybe.
Virtually nobody will have that one.
It's just not that high end of a bar scenario here.
No, but in Oregon they have a very sophisticated bar scene. Washington, most large cities can do this stuff.
I wonder if, say, Cafe Central, the bar there.
That is a good question. Or Anson 11, both Anson 11. Much more exciting when you get it next to your head, so you have a chance of concussion.
That'll be yours and mine. Oh. And actually, the aviation goes well with this coming week.
Why so?
Well, because on December 7th, we have Pearl Harbor Day. And if it wasn't for airplanes and aviation, Pearl Harbor Day couldn't have existed.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh. Yes, well, Pearl Harbor Day was obviously a bad day for America. And my mother was afraid I'd be born on that, so she squeezed extra hard, and therefore...
You popped out a day early?
Yeah. It's easier to remember that number than December 7th, anyway. This looks like it could be pretty good.
Well, I think your birthday was a date that has lived in infamy as well.
By itself, yeah. She didn't want two of the same thing on the same day. So, Marky, as you see, it's got this weird purple glow.
Okay. It really does.
Smell. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Lifebuoy. No.
Yeah. No, we don't get that. It's got that amazing aroma. It does have a great aroma. And the flavor, it's
It's an interesting
you know what
taste.
it, what?
But the lemon helps.
Lemon's
That
good.
lemon
Lemon's
undertaste is good with it.
Some of these call for simple syrup, and I know your aversion to sugar.
I'm averse to simple syrup. It's just sugar water, and who needs it?
Right, you don't
These
need
have
it.
enough sugar.
Surprisingly enough, maraschino liqueur from Luxardo is not that sweet. It's a little bitter. This is a little kind of
funky.
You got a little soapy flavor. It's sort of a
It's a little something that
texture.
you can't quite place
It's a
your tongue
texture,
on.
but there's sort of an aura. This is pretty much a complicated martini with lemon.
Well, it's very
Because rather
complicated.
than vermouth, you use Luxardo and the creme de violette. There's also something called creme yvette. Here's what we want to do as an experiment. I believe that creme yvette has a. You up for this?
Yeah, maybe you should put it in there first. And so
Oh,
you
yeah, so I don't
actually
drip it
dump
too much?
in.
Should be only a drop or two.
We'll try anything
Creme
once.
yvette, they say, is a slightly vanilla-y creme de violette. So
So we're just going to put in just a drop or so.
Okay. Mix it around.
I'll try and mix it up here.
I think it'd give it a little cream. You know, the acid of the lemon. Can you tell a difference?
I'm not sure there was enough that went in there.
No, I don't think it's good. Yeah,
You can't taste it.
I can taste mine.
You can.
You want a little drop? Another drop?
The lemon juice kind of overpowers it a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
I'll add just a little bit more.
yeah. That's a token amount. I mean, you could see it.
Okay. It adds a little something, something. It's not bad either.
Yeah. It's got a different, a little
Kind of balances
a
the
little
lemon
bounce,
juice.
a little bounce
Yeah.
there. Yeah. There must be something like a cassis or some sort of liqueur that's a vanilla liqueur that we could throw in there.
It's an interesting
Liqueur.
drink.
Yeah, it is.
What do they make this violette out of? You know?
Squished violets. It's made out of violets.
actual violets.
It's violet flavor.
Petals, huh?
Yeah, they steep a liqueur. I'm not kind of sure what they make.
Hence, it's probably not very cheap.
This one is. This one's only about $15.
Oh.
16% alcohol. But, well, and cream yvette is, I think, 23.
Okay.
Depends on what it's made of. Anyway, cheers. I'm glad we won World War II. Let's
Yes.
hope we win World War III. Or maybe
We're bound to.
Something.
Well, actually, could there be any winners in World War III?
No, and whoever wins it will say that we won it.
Well,
And
the arms
we.
Well, the arms corporations will win, of course.
Tasty.
Hey, we had bad news this week.
Oh.
Retired police officer J.R. Stewart was
Run over.
Run over and killed by two
Crazy.
zoned out fugitives on the lam in a stolen vehicle.
Which most of you heard, and it's a crazy story because they were caught at a immigration stop or the check stop.
West of town, the border patrol station.
The girl had a stolen license, and the car was found to be stolen.
With a stolen plate on the back.
And they took off and carjacked somebody and took a speeding drive, and then I don't understand where they stopped their other car and carjacked another car. Then they ran into him over in Los Alturas. And this is starting
5 hours later.
Yeah.
Well, they actually got away from the cops, and they were spotted a couple hours later up on Loman and Telshore.
And then
then a high-speed pursuit began.
That was probably the second car or something.
And of course, they're not from town, so they don't know the way around. So they're just driving around as many streets as they can.
Really?
Solano and
You know,
Locust.
I know my way around
Idaho.
town, and I don't think I can find that place where they hit it. I mean, it almost seemed like an incredible history lined up just to get them, which doesn't make any sense at
And
all.
what a fluke! They ran over a motorcycle police officer while he's riding his motorcycle, his private motorcycle, because he's retired,
He was 61 years old.
and he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong
He
time.
had he was in the police department for 35 years, and he retired. And now that's it. That's sad.
And his entire
His-
career, he was a motor officer. Handing out tickets on Missouri.
Well, he was different things. Handing out tickets
on Missouri for 35 years. He didn't really go further than that.
But everybody loved him, and,
Yeah.
he apparently ran for sheriff.
Ran for sheriff
and
twice.
He was well liked. What can you say? He's got an amiable face. He looks like a guy that you'd say, gives you a ticket, you go, thank you, sir. You're
Well,
very
you might.
pleasant. I've done that.
Thank you. Yes.
I've done that to cops.
Yes.
Even when they didn't arrest me, I'd say, please.
Please arrest me.
Frisk me, frisk me.
Well, that's your favorite part. Now, other things in the news. Steve Pierce, our illustrious congressman from District 2,
I think he's
Here.
growing hair back a little bit.
he decided not to run for Congress again, because he's running for the governor of New Mexico. And he had a $1 million war chest saved up
as
for
a House of
as a
Representatives.
congressman, And he had asked if he could use that $1 million for his governorship campaign.
Because it's different.
And
It's
they finally said, yes, you may.
So far, until they're going to keep working on it. So he's got $1 million. The law is you can't accept more than $5,500 from any one source.
Right.
And that would be one source.
Well, yeah, but he accumulated
depends.
it from many sources over the course of 2 years.
I guess I have to rename the fund then, Governorship Fund.
Well, I tell you, his opponent, Michelle Lujan Grisham, has quite a disadvantage now because he's got a $1 million.
It starts with $1 million. So those of you who are supporting Democrats, it's time to start giving. If every person in New Mexico gives $1, not counting people who are underage.
You mean every Democrat? Or
No,
independent?
every person.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yeah, independent like you.
Yeah.
Well, every person. First of all, they say New Mexico is a democratic state,
I
right?
mean every voter.
No,
every-
I mean every person.
Oh, okay.
You can do $1.
Every baby.
You can pay $1 on your income tax.
Yeah.
So if it all goes to Michelle Lujan Grisham, that would catch her up.
Yeah.
Of course, he's going to keep soliciting funds, so
course,
he'll
yes.
have more. And she's got Joseph Cervantes. Once if she gets past the primary,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll all support her.
But-
And there's a recent meeting of the three top runners: the Apodaca, Cervantes, and
Grisham.
Michelle Grisham. It doesn't seem like a name it seems more like an astronaut. Anyway, if they all combine funds, maybe it'll help.
Well,
But
yeah,
people shouldn't win because of how much money they have,
Steve
right?
Pierce has access to unlimited funds if he
He
needs
does,
them.
right. He's got the Koch brothers.
And all these other gas and oil interests in the state.
That's true. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, your next thing is baggage fees. So this
Yes.
is the baggage he brings with him.
He does bring a lot of baggage.
And he won't have to pay a fee.
And the other
What's
thing,
your complaint here?
well,
Huh?
you go to take a flight someplace. You go up for ticketing at the desk. You put your bag on the scale, and they ask for $25 to ship your bag, your check-through luggage. And okay, that's you didn't used to have to pay for that.
No, but you know why this happens to you?
Why?
Because you don't believe in things like credit cards or being part of. If you had an American Airlines card, you get your bag checked for free.
Well, I don't fly American Airlines.
Okay, so Southwest, you get it for free. What do you fly? Things that charge you bag. You go to the cheapest flight, therefore your fee for bag is tacked on. There goes the cheap part of the flight.
My friend Alice flew United Airlines to Pennsylvania this last week, $25 baggage fee. And in fact, in El
Wait,
Paso Airport,
who did you use?
at United.
Well, you need a United card.
And then, since the conveyor belt was under construction, you had to then carry your bag all the way down the concourse to another place where they checked your bag through and x-rayed it.
Oh,
So,
here.
In
I
El
mean,
Paso.
in El Paso.
Yeah,
But
so for
then-
$25, you still had to carry your bag all the way down there.
You're not paying somebody $25 to carry your bag. You're paying somebody to carry your bag from here to Pennsylvania. And there's not many people I know who really want to go to Pennsylvania. So you're lucky to get somebody to take your bag there.
Well, there's a plane load of people going that way.
Wow.
But, so what if the airline is delayed with your bag, they lose it, they misplace it? Don't you think you should get a refund on that $25 per bag? I do.
Wine. If they lose it, yeah, you'll get your money back.
I think if it's delayed...
But they don't happen. They're not going to lose in Pennsylvania. You just look around and they say, oh, there's nothing much here except that bag.
Well, you change flights. You might change 2 or 3 times on your way there.
But it didn't happen. That's a whole different story.
It happens to a lot of people all the time. It's happened to me.
Well, that's because...
You show up, your bag's not there, and then what happens is, well, okay, when it finally does show up, they put it on the Las Cruces
Yes,
shuttle, and they bring it to your house the next day or whatever.
Well, that's what happens when your bag is made out of burlap. When you have a burlap bag, it just rips apart. How are they going to find it?
I use quality jute in my burlap bags.
Oh, don't you start talking about jutes.
Jute.
Anyway, so I think we have to
I
take a
guess
break.
we'll-
Are we here? Is he yelling break?
Yeah. So let's
Okay.
take a break, and we'll fly off and take a break. While we
Have an aviation.
Some more aviation. We'll be right back after these words.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business. According to the secret war, banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get the secret war free. Call the number on your screen or visit online.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. We also have other pain-relieving braces available for shoulder, ankle, and your back. Call the number on your screen right now to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
You are back. This is Double Talk. We're drinking Aviations right here.
Yeah, this is our third one since you left. We had two others in the waiting
It's
room.
the only way to fly.
Oh, let's see what's going on. You're
So-
complaining about baggage.
I was talking
fees.
about baggage-
What's your
baggage
flyer's rights? Your rights as a flyer is to pay for whatever service they give you.
No, but if you have a problem with your bags, with an airline overcharging you, your bag is late and they still want to charge you for it, get in touch with flyersrights.org, and they'll help you. Excuse me.
I'm sure you'd figure that out. But you usually get that bag back. Once we flew to Italy, and they had to send our bag down to the Amalfi Coast from Rome. Barb's bag got there. We got there on like Sunday, Easter Sunday. We call them on Monday. They said, we can't do anything. It's Easter Monday.
Sure it is.
But then they finally got there on Tuesday. Of course, I called mine, and they said, we don't know, it's Easter Tuesday. And it finally came on Friday, and we were leaving Saturday, so.
When I flew to Calcutta, my bag was 4 days late in arriving, and so I had to buy new clothes. And from then on, and thankfully then, in my carry-on, I had a change of clothes.
That's great.
And I always do that from now on. Have a change of clothes and your toiletries in your carry-on.
And your essential medicines.
Yes. Yes, now.
This is essential medicine.
Well, and some people have a problem and might need medical help when they have a gambling addiction problem. You know, New Mexico gambling.
I bet there's no gambling addictions.
You ever heard of gambling addiction?
No, I'll bet you $20 that there's no such thing. You want to take that bet?
I'll raise it to 40.
See ya. Okay.
No, you know, New Mexico reaps a lot of money in taxes from gambling, mostly Indian casinos, and they bring in $150 million per year to the state coffers.
Indian plus the Moose Lodge.
Yes, all gambling.
All lodges.
In all fraternal organizations, as well as casinos and hotels. And Sunland Park, that's not Indian. So it's also horse racing, that's not Indian.
Huh.
And now, when it comes to putting aside money for problem gambling, where people do have a problem, the state spends $70,000 out of that $150 million.
I bet you that doesn't pay off.
Should they?
They should put it into gambling and win some money back. You
Exactly.
know, they double that money.
But should
in
they
a
spend
day.
anything on it?
Maybe they shouldn't.
Is it their
Is it their responsibility? First of all, if people do have an addiction for gambling, it's not like they're getting drunk and crashing their cars, which is annoyance to us. It's that they're losing money that's theirs. You know, do you gamble?
Not really.
Me neither.
But this show's about as far as I go.
You're really putting your neck out there. The idea of gambling, really, you know, the reason they have gambling casinos is because they don't lose, you do. I mean,
But the house-
walking into those places,
the
it
fix is
should
it.
be a slap in the face to say, idiot.
Now,
Don't you know what you're
enough
doing?
people win just enough times to make,
To make it feel
everybody
good.
keep
There
doing it.
is a mental thing where people remember their good times and
Yes.
sublimate their bad times.
That's right.
So you remember winning, and the times you forget, that's how I went to the stock market.
No, but it becomes a problem when people spend their mortgage money and their car payment money.
I don't think so.
Then they're thrown out of their house. Now they're homeless. Now the taxpayers have to look after them.
Not right away. They have to go through a bunch of stuff before they get done. So, oh, look at that. Caretaker, is that
Well,
the next thing you want to talk about?
yeah.
We're just shifting our troubles.
Well, in California, just a brief note, California has a new law now that caregivers can be jailed if they don't use if they don't use the name of the
chosen
the
sexuality
person
of the
wants to be
person.
called. Like if they're dealing with Joseph Smith and he requests to be called JoJo, they don't call him JoJo, they call him Mr. Smith or Joe. They can
You're
go to
gonna-
jail for that now.
I think that's a start in getting fair terms. What do you think, Marky?
Well, I think there's been abuse. People calling, come on, Nancy, time for your diaper change when it's, Mr. Jones. So, that it can be abusive, and I can understand why maybe this.
Why'd you pick the word Nancy? That has implications. Nancy. We
Reagan?
called it Nancy, and that has an implication. I won't say anything about that.
Well, that's my point exactly.
Yes. Well, surprisingly enough, at least they take care of it. You're not liable. What do you get fined? I mean, jail. You go to jail because you called somebody the wrong name. You get a $10 fine.
You can be, I guess.
What about when the cop pulls you over and calls you Bud? You go, that's not my name. I'm going to take you to jail.
Citizens arrest.
You can't see that far.
Now,
We got to keep moving.
let me
Yes.
tell you,
You put too many things
in
down.
Massachusetts, a library would not. Somebody wanted to donate some Dr. Seuss books to this library in Massachusetts, and they said no, we won't accept them because Dr. Seuss is steeped in racist propaganda. Did you know that?
Well, I did hear about that.
What does it mean?
It seems so silly because you have all sorts of animals, and people have categorized the animals in different.
One fish, red fish, blue fish, yellow. Oh, they didn't say plaid fish or blackfish.
Blackfish.
They left some fish out.
That's like black.
It's racist.
Well, we're getting certainly, so what you're jumping over the big question of what it takes to be kicked out of Congress to have, illegal sexual relations.
It takes
Or what is illegal? It doesn't even have to be illegal.
Alleged.
It could be inappropriate sexual things.
Contact
So
of some sort.
inappropriate contact, inappropriate sense of talking about race, and we are so sensitive now. First of all, because we're slapped in the face. Everybody watches Facebook all day long,
Yes.
and you see all the angles.
Well, Al Franken has 4 or 5 people now have come forward. President Trump has 24 women who've come forward saying he.
And it depends what they did. The Garrison Keillor thing. Remember what he did?
One woman put his
went
hand on her back.
He went like that, but she didn't have any cloth over there, and you do have cloth there. So God, I'm safe.
But you have to watch it, Buster.
Well, that's okay.
Hey, it's getting to the point. I won't get it if there's an elevator and a woman gets in, and it'll just be she and I won't get in. I'll wait for the next one. She can ride up by herself.
So if a woman gets on an escalator and she's got one of those flouncy dresses, I will not stand right behind her.
Because it'll blow up in your face.
But if you stand a few steps down, you get a better view. But
Yes.
it's not abuse, is it? It's perversion.
Now, in
On my part.
Well, some people might think this is perversion.
Okay.
In Oregon,
You keep going,
in
yeah.
the state of Oregon,
Where this is made.
this is about gender change. In there, Oregon will help somebody pay for their gender change as low as age 15 without their parents' permission.
Wow, that's pretty liberal.
You can get a sex change without your parents' permission as a teenager.
Well, who pays for that?
State.
State?
The state will
it's like
cover it's very
it's
progressive.
like
up there.
Medicaid or something?
I guess so.
Well, that's good if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Well, fine.
Is that the same person?
Yeah,
Is
that's Bruce Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner.
well, but that's Bruce Jenner younger.
Bruce Jenner when he was Bruce Jenner. Did you hear
Oh,
that?
yes, I did hear that from the side. Caitlyn complained that
Bruce Jenner molested her?
Yeah. Well, he's rough. He can't even wipe. Good. You can't come back from that one, can you?
Well, I'll just move on. You know, in Pennsylvania, when you want to
We go from state to state. We just came from Oregon to Pennsylvania.
California, now
Pennsylvania,
it's-
where your friend Alice was
yeah,
recently.
she was just in Pennsylvania, and her daughter recently adopted a cat. And if you want to adopt a pet in Pennsylvania from a shelter, it takes 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks to adopt a pet.
You wrote 10 minutes.
No. It takes
What,
2 weeks to adopt
the pet?
pets, and they do a background check and everything.
Yeah.
But if you want to buy a gun, it takes 10 minutes.
Well, you might be in a rush to kill that pet once you get it after.
After 2 weeks of
After
trouble,
2 weeks, you say, "Oh
you don't
my
want to
God."
get rid of it.
Well, 1 minute. Okay, best Christmas ever is at the Rio Grande Theater on
Children's
Saturday.
Play, Saturday.
Black Box Theater has Crimes of the Heart by Nika Zimmer,
Saturday night.
directed by Christmas Story. What's
That's
that?
the movie, The Christmas Story. Is playing at the Rio Grande Theater Saturday night.
That's true. Who's doing the? Rosemary McLaughlin is at the Cutter Gallery right now.
1 to 4.
Las Cruz Community Theater is doing Annie starting this week, and Janet.
The Mannheim Steamroller is going to be at the Pan Am Center Tuesday nights.
And
the Christmas tree lighting
Pretty
downtown.
much what I got there.
The city of Las Cruces, the first time they're having it at the new plaza downtown.
And Dragonfly, if you're going
Tonight.
downtown, yes, Dragonfly has a re-massage menu that's pretty good.
And that's right across the street from the Christmas tree.
Yes, so drop in.
So I guess we're out of time, aren't we?
Yes, try their meatloaf.
And try an Aviation if you ever get the
And
opportunity.
Aviation, we may make a backup one, so come back after the show closes and you can visit us.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you
See you next week.
I think we should have another one.
All right.
Just make another one.